How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video we have the best cards for the current price in MLB The Show 25, so let's go ahead and get right into it. I've been making a lot of videos on the marketplace. I've been talking about a lot of different cards, and I wanted to make a video on some of the better cards in the game for the current price. Some of these cards are more recent, and then some of these cards were also in the previous video that I had. I made this one, like, I would say a couple months ago maybe. But anyway, some of these switch hitters that are in the June program are pretty good. I would say the June Spotlight program, like Brooks Lead, that Wenzel Perez card, I would say that these cards are also the most expensive cards that I have on the list. I would say like the cap for this was right around like 30K stubs. If you put in a buy order, you can get these cards for a little bit cheaper. They have also kind of fluctuated a little bit. The market itself has had kind of a downward trend over the last couple of days leading up to Weekend Classic, and then also dropped during Weekend Classic initially and is now starting to rise up. But also, like, some of these cards are going to be cheaper as time goes on. Like this Outlighter, for example, like in the next week and a half, 10 days or so, as people get that World Series Rewind pack, that Outlighter is going to be less than this Mizorowski, for example. But Outlighter is also very good. So maybe he'll be right around that same price. Like Pedro Martinez is a perfect example of that. Was going for right around the same price as Outlighter at one point. This card I've tried out only one time. I thought he was pretty good though. Definitely surprised. Sonny Gray is a good card just because, well, you want to be earning this card in Diamond Quest to pay for some of these other ones. But Sonny Gray himself is a pretty good pitcher. Other than the summer Diamond Quest, you probably want to be playing the Pinstripes one. That one's giving the most stubs right now. We got Nate Pearson, I think is a really good budget option. One of the best changeups in the entire game. Very similar effectiveness to like Pedro Martinez, as mentioned earlier. But we have Jim Catt, kind of more of a finesse lefty. But I would say, like, if you don't have a ton of stubs for Randy Johnson, if you haven't quite unlocked Clayton Kershaw, if you don't have the, John Donaldson grind done, most people do, but I'm just saying if you don't, then I think we got to have a couple budget lefties in here as well. Eddie Murray is a really good switch hitting budget first baseman. I think there's a couple other first basemen on here, like Willie McCovey as well, if you want to use a lefty. I think he has a great swing, but better card probably overall are these switch hitters like, Eddie Murray or Luis Rengifo. I think Rengifo is really good. Junior Caminero, good hitting right-handed bat. Not the best fielder, but I think you can get away with using this card, right? Like third base, second base. I wouldn't use that card at shortstop. But this card's also really good. This Casey Schmidt has a pretty good swing in the game. Really cheap card right now. Probably going to go, up and down a little bit, but maintain right around that price. They've been releasing a lot of those spotlight packs. Derek Jeter is a pretty usable card. The only boss from that previous one. I mean, maybe Nolan Ryan could fit this as well. But I would say Derek Jeter is probably more usable than Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan's like 20K, not the best control. I guess you could include him. But Ian Happ, really good budget card, 5K. Chili Davis, another budget card, 5K. Actually played baseball with Chili Davis' son, surprisingly enough, pretty cool. But he's definitely a good switch-hitting bat still. Jock Peterson was just my DH until I unlocked Juan Soto. I think this card is really, really good. Plays well above his attributes. The clutch attribute kind of takes over versus lefties. If you can hit lefty-lefty, he's an amazing DH. I wouldn't use him in the field, though. We got George Springer. I think this card's still pretty good. 93. Once again, very similar to that. Pedro Martinez was a lot more expensive earlier, but has dropped down. Kerry Carpenter has one of the better swings in the entire game. I like the quick two-handed swing. I got a few players on this list. Another one that's not on the list, though, is Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham, prime card. It's a pretty good card. Has that quick two-handed swing. We got Devin Williams. I think Devin Williams, really good budget option. Has dropped down in price. Pretty good reliever. We got Danny Colome. I know this card is on like everybody's team. 17K, 20K in that range. He's a really good finesse lefty. Michael Kopech, really, really cheap card. We got a couple cheap cards on this list at 87 overalls. I think there's still a few, 87 overall players that are pretty good. I mean, just in my last game of ranked seasons, I faced 87 Jake Arrieta. Felt like batting practice. But some of these other cards on the list would definitely be an upgrade from maybe him or, some other guys that are at an 87 overall still playing. I faced Mick Abel recently, Tops Now card in ranked seasons, don't know why. There's a lot of other cards you could get. We got, Dennis Eckersley, Eric Gagne, some pretty good relievers. We got to have good relievers. I would say if you're building like a team with some of these guys on it, or maybe you don't have Carlos Beltran, you don't have Ted Williams, maybe you don't have, Mickey Mantle that just came out, some of the more expensive cards in the game, you probably want to spend your stubs more so on the pitching side of things. Personally, I just think there's a lot more budget hitters that could go up against some of the best pitchers in the entire game. Like, you got a 15K, Willie McCovey card that could easily go up against Roger Clemens. Maybe not on, GOAT difficulty, but GOAT's not in the game anymore for ranked. But, like, Helio Ramos could be a pinch hitter for Jock Peterson, or you might use Colt Keith. Like, this is a 2K card, and he's got 100 contact. 87 power is not, like, terrible. 72 power is, pretty low. But there's other guys like that are on God squads, or like, the best players in the game, like Brooks Lee, only has like 79 power versus lefties, but he hits from that, right side. So there's some good value. Like, you could get a budget, Bernie Williams, you platoon him with this Grady Sizemore card. I wouldn't really use Bernie Williams in center field. Some of the guys that have more of a secondary position or more options have more value to me. I've seen a lot of top players recently lose games because they got guys out of position, even in the outfield or whatever the case is. Like, the game knows you have guys out of position, and it's going to penalize you for it. You got to have guys on your bench with good defense. You got to have guys on your bench that you can go to. I think this Aroldis Chapman from this collection, Collect 20, a little bit more of a collection than maybe like this Collect 7. Pete Crow Armstrong, like, these cards have a lot of value, I think. Aroldis Chapman's still a very good arm. Pete Crow Armstrong, best defender in the game. Most valuable defender you can have on your team, I think. Has won me so many games. Has also won me a lot of Diamond Quest games. We got Jaron Duran, Collect 19. A little bit more of a collection there. But if you do the program and you get some of those free packs, you can get that collection done for pretty cheap. I think Ian Kinsler is a really good card. Second baseman, really good option. Has that quick two-handed swing as well. And we got some packs to finish off the video, but I really wanted to just kind of update this video because I really think there's a lot of really good cards, like good players that a lot of people could use. Maybe so like in, the 700s or below, there's a lot of people that play this game just casually, that don't have the best team. So I just wanted to kind of help out just a lot of different variety of players if I can. If you're watching this and you have, every card in the game, then you're probably not using a lot of these cards that I have listed. But I use some of these cards I have listed. I have almost every card in the game. I have almost every card in this list as well, of course. But like Helio Ramos is still a good player on my team. I think, using him as a platoon bat for Harper or something like that is still a really good option. They really have close to the same attributes against, their better side. Helio Ramos doesn't have as good of a swing as Bryce Harper, but just like an example like that, like I think there's really good cards if you just kind of go hunting for what you like and what you're good with. But that's going to do it for this video. I'm College Lefty, and peace out.